Have you ever noticed that some women walk into a room and something about them immediately draws attention? This has a name. Stylists call it visual literacy. And today I'm going to show you the codes behind it. The same tricks that fashion professionals teach their private clients and that most women will never discover. Let's start with the first one. Trick 1. The sandwich method. There's a simple thing that the most elegant women do almost without realizing it. They repeat a color. Not just any way. They place that color at the top of the look, in the blouse, in the shirt, and repeat it at the bottom, in the shoe, the bag, the foot accessory. In the middle, another color enters. It seems too simple to work, but the difference is enormous. Imagine a white blouse, jeans, and a white shoe, or a beige shirt, white pants, and a beige bag. You've probably seen this kind of look before and found it elegant without knowing why. The reason is that the color appears on top and comes back on the bottom. This creates a visual balance that the human eye recognizes as right, even if the person looking can't explain it. Stylists call this the sandwich method. The idea is that the look is held between two repetitions of the same color. This transforms a simple combination into something that feels much more considered. A light blue shirt with white pants and a blue scarf in the hair. A black blouse with caramel pants and a black slingback. An off-white blouse with beige pants and a structured off-white bag. In all of these, the color appears twice, and that makes all the difference. The golden rule: when a color appears twice in the look, it stops seeming accidental and starts seeming styled. But be careful. Avoid making this sandwich with very different tones without intention. Cool white with yellowish off-white, for example, breaks the effect. And for sophistication, avoid repeating very loud colors. The method works best with calm tones. Now there's a formula used by stylists worldwide to never overdo colors, and it's easier to apply than it seems. Trick 2. The 60-30-10 formula. Imagine two women walking into the same restaurant. The first wears a colorful blouse, a printed skirt, and a vibrant accessory. Each piece is beautiful, but together the look seems chaotic. The second wears 3 colors, one dominant, one supporting, and one for detail. The look seems clean, balanced, sophisticated. The difference isn't in the wardrobe, it's in the proportion. Stylists use a formula called 60-30-10. 60% of the look is occupied by the main color, usually in the larger pieces, like pants and a blazer. 30% enters in a smaller piece, like the blouse or an outer layer. And the final 10% appears in the details, the shoe, the bag, the belt, the earring. This proportion makes the look seem balanced, because no color fights too hard against the other. Each one has its space: 60% beige, 30% white, 10% caramel in the accessories, 60% navy, 30% off-white, 10% gold in the earrings and bag, 60% white, 30% sage green, 10% cognac in the belt and shoe. In any of these combinations, the look feels considered, even if you put it together in 5 minutes. The golden rule: the strongest color in the look should appear in the smallest quantity if you want to look elegant. When everything has the same visual weight, the look loses sophistication. But there's a detail that most women completely overlook, and that makes the look fall apart even when the colors are right. Before we continue, what I teach here aren't just fashion tips. These are the invisible codes that stylists use to make a woman be seen and treated as elegant, expensive, and important in any environment. If you want to keep learning these secret codes, subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss the next videos. Trick 3. Treat metals as colors in the look. The gold earring, the silver belt buckle, the champagne hardware on the bag, the rose gold watch. Each of these details seems small, but together they tell a story. And if that story lacks coherence, the look loses refinement without the person being able to identify where. Stylists teach something that few people consider. Metal is also a color. Gold, silver, bronze, aged gold, rose gold. They need to be treated as part of the color combination. If the earring is gold, the belt buckle should be gold. If the bag has silver hardware, the accessories follow. This technique is called metallic harmony. Metal works as a point of light in the look. It illuminates the face, the arms, the waist, the feet, but it needs to speak to the rest. Gold warms the look and pairs very well with caramel, beige, terracotta, and wine. Silver makes the image cooler and more modern. It works beautifully with gray, blue, and off-white. Aged gold and bronze create a more sophisticated and discreet effect, perfect for neutral looks. A wine dress with gold earrings and nude sandals, a white shirt with beige pants, a cognac belt with a gold buckle, and a caramel bag, a light gray look with silver accessories and a nude shoe. In each of these examples, the metals speak to each other, and that's what creates the feeling of refinement. Avoid mixing very yellow gold, bright silver, and different hardware all at the same time. The human eye notices when metals clash, even unconsciously. And now comes a trick that seems difficult, but has one simple rule that solves everything. Trick 4. Mix prints, using one color in common. Mixing prints is one of the most elegant resources in fashion, and also one of the most misused. Most women avoid it entirely, afraid of getting it wrong. Others mix without criteria, and the look becomes confusing. But there's a rule that stylists teach that solves this once and for all. To mix prints elegantly, you need two things: one color in common between them and different scales. The color in common is the visual bridge. It makes the prints seem connected, as if they were chosen together on purpose. A blue and white striped shirt with a scarf that also has blue. A floral skirt with a beige base, and a thin striped blouse in beige and white. The difference in scale is what prevents the prints from competing. A large print combined with a smaller one, each occupies a different role in the look. A small polka dot blouse with a larger printed skirt using the same color palette, for example. This technique has two names: chromatic print anchoring, for the shared color, and print scale, for the size difference. Avoid too large prints competing. Prints with completely different colors, and overly colorful mixes without a connecting color. In these cases, even individually beautiful pieces look like a mistake together. The golden rule is simple: repeat one color and change the scale of the prints. The look will seem much more intentionally elegant, but there's a color combination that stylists use to make any tone seem more expensive, and it works especially well for those who want sophistication without effort. Trick 5. Use rich neutrals to calm any color. Think of a color you love to wear, but that sometimes feels too strong. Wine, green, blue, earthy orange. Now imagine that same color next to a soft beige, or an elegant off-white, or a rich caramel. Notice the difference. The neutral doesn't erase the color, it frames it. And that's exactly what stylists do when they want a color to look expensive and sophisticated instead of flashy. This technique is called the high-value neutral base, and the elegant neutrals that work as this frame are off-white, sand, beige, ivory, caramel, chocolate, light gray, navy, and well-used black. Wine with beige looks sophisticated. Green with off-white looks fresh. Blue with caramel looks refined. It's not a coincidence. It's the visual logic of balanced contrast. A wine blouse with beige pants and nude sandals. A sage green shirt with off-white pants and a caramel bag. A caramel skirt with an ivory shirt and gold earrings. In all of these looks, the color has space to show, but the neutral beside it makes it more elegant, not more intense. The golden rule: when a color feels too strong, place a rich neutral beside it. Avoid combining a strong color with another strong color without this base. The look will be more flashy than sophisticated. Now comes one of the most used techniques by truly elegant women, and most people don't even know they're using it. Trick 6. Use tone-on-tone to look more elegant effortlessly. There's a type of look that always seems expensive. No designer piece, no elaborate print, nothing that draws attention individually. But together, it looks rich. The secret is using variations of the same color: beige with sand, ivory with off-white, caramel with chocolate, light blue with navy, light gray with graphite. Stylists call this tonal coordination, or tone-on-tone. Instead of combining different colors, you use an entire family of colors. This creates visual continuity. The look seems to flow, And that fluidity is what the human eye interprets as refinement. It's one of the easiest ways to look elegant because there's no tension between the colors. Everything speaks naturally. Beige pants with an ivory blouse, a cognac belt, and a caramel bag. An all off-white look with nude shoes and gold earrings. Chocolate pants with a caramel blouse and a brown bag. A light blue shirt with navy pants and a nude slingback. In each of these examples, the look feels cohesive because the colors belong to the same family, and this creates the sense of a far more refined wardrobe than it really is. The golden rule, tone-on-tone looks expensive because it shows visual control. But be careful, this effect only works when the fabric and drape follow. Similar tones in poor or sheer fabrics lose all elegance. And now we arrive at the final code. This is what I call the secret that works underneath everything. When you understand this principle, you start seeing looks in a completely different way. Before we move on to the next trick, how many times have you stood in front of a closet full of clothes, looked at everything, and thought, I have nothing to wear? And in the end grabbed the same old thing, the safe, boring look, and walked out, feeling invisible. Again, your problem isn't a lack of clothes, it's that nobody ever taught you the codes a stylist uses to combine what you already have. I just released a guide with over 150 ready-made looks that I tested one by one, using only 15 pieces you probably already have in your wardrobe. These looks are so elegant that people will turn to look when you walk by and whisper to their friend, "Wow, what an elegant woman." And you won't need to think about a thing. You just choose the look and copy it piece by piece, exactly as I show you. In less than 5 minutes, you're dressed and ready to go. The link to access the guide with the 150 looks is in the pinned comment and in the description. And if you're watching on TV, just scan the QR code that appears on the screen. Trick 7. Match colors by temperature. Warm with warm, cool with cool. Have you ever worn a look where each piece seemed right individually, but together something seemed off? As if the colors didn't quite match, but you couldn't identify the problem? There's a good chance the problem was the temperature of the colors. Colors have temperature. Warm colors have a yellow, golden, earthy, or orange base. Cool colors have a blue, gray, or pink base. And when you mix colors of very different temperatures without any transitional element, the look seems slightly mismatched. The eye notices, but the person rarely knows why. Stylists call this chromatic temperature harmony. Warm colors naturally pair with caramel, gold, beige, brown, terracotta, and olive. Cool colors call for silver, gray, blue, rose, cool wine, and cool white. A warm look, an ivory shirt with caramel pants, a cognac belt, and gold earrings. Everything warm, everything coherent. A cool look, a light blue shirt with light gray pants, a rosy nude shoe, and a silver accessory. Everything cool, everything harmonious. And when you want to balance both, that's where a neutral enters as a bridge. White pants with a sage green blouse, a caramel bag, and gold earrings. The white connects the temperatures and creates a sophisticated look. This technique works underneath everything. You can apply the 6 previous tricks perfectly and still feel something isn't quite right if the color temperatures are in conflict. The golden rule, when colors have the same temperature, the look seems more expensive and more natural. Avoid mixing very warm colors with very cool colors without a neutral piece to balance. You just learned 7 codes that stylists take years to teach their clients. The sandwich method, which repeats a color to create balance. The 60-30-10 formula, which distributes colors in the right proportion. Metallic harmony, which treats accessories as part of the look. Chromatic print anchoring, which connects prints through color and scale. The high-value neutral base, which frames any color to look more sophisticated. Tonal coordination, which creates the feeling of effortless elegance. And chromatic temperature harmony, which aligns everything underneath. None of these tricks require new clothes. They require a different way of looking at what you already have. And that different way of looking is exactly what separates a woman who seems well-dressed from a woman who seems elegant. Tell me in the comments, which of these codes will you test first? And if you want to keep discovering these details that make all the difference, there's much more coming.